Lock Heist 2026. Are you in? What is Lock Heist? Well, Lock Heist was inspired by the Pack Leader Challenge. I had so much fun teaming up with Cheese Grits and NyQuil and Swamp Picker. I wanted to see more events with teams of Locksporters. And so I was kind of coming up with some kind of a fun event that would get teams of Locksporters together to just do some loose competition, nothing super stringent, but just for fun. And while I was coming up with this idea, Texas Rebel and Labs were coming up with the Ultimate Lockpicker Championship. And I was going to need some sort of infrastructure to help kind of launch this. So I approached them, and they were graciously willing to host the channels for Lock Heist on the ULC Discord. So if you want to participate in Lock Heist, you're going to want to get into the ULC Discord. And you can find that on the link for that on Texas Rebels ULC Ultimate Lockpicking Championship announcement. But what is Lock Heist? So here's the idea. Players will form into teams of 3 pickers to create a heist crew. Every crew is going to assign one of their players to a role. There's the dealer. There is the decoy. And then there's the specialist. So what each person will do is, one at a time, kind of like a relay race while being timed, they will perform a basic task, and then they will pick 2 locks. I will time them, but it will all be done on a live stream. So all 4 of us will be in a live stream together. It will start with the dealer. They will go, they will do their thing. Then the decoy will do their thing, and then the specialist will do their thing. And at the end of the time, we'll stop the timer. And after the season is over, the crew that does the heist the fastest gets the bragging rights. So what do you need to get in on this? Well, you're going to need to be able to do video. You're going to need to be able to join a restream. So with a crew and me, you'll pick a heist crew leader. And their job is to kind of be the go-between between me and the crew to kind of get everyone organized, pick a time to do the live stream together. And likewise, I will be shipping the chips to the leader, and they will disseminate them to the crew, much like Pack Leader did. Also, you'll need to pick a name for your heist crew, or if you don't want a name for the crew, you can name the movie. Kind of how like the Reservoir Dogs could be the name for a crew, or Ocean's 11 was the name for a heist movie. Come up with something unique to your team, something fun. And then each player will need certain items based on what role they're playing. So the dealer will need a deck of standard playing cards and 2 white belt locks. And that's what they'll be required to do the role. They will do a riffle shuffle of the deck, which is like that, but probably much faster and cooler than I'm doing it. And they will have, once they're done riffling the deck 3 times, and then one at a time they'll turn over the cards and call out what would be required to get to 21. So an ace is worth either 1 or 11 points, so they would say 20 or 10. 13. So that's what the dealer does for their task. Then they will pick 2 white belt locks. Now, the dealer gets to rake, because dealers can rake. They take the rake in Vegas. They can use a rake in Lock Heist. They are the only ones who can rake. Otherwise, it's single pin picking. So they'll do the riffle shuffle. They'll do the 3 cards to 21. They'll rake or pick 2 white belt locks, and they'll say, "I'm in." Once they say "I'm in," that's the signal for the next person to go, who is the decoy. The decoy is going to start handcuffed. They're going to have to pick or shim the handcuffs, their choice. Single lock, they don't have to double lock, so just single lock the handcuffs, pick or shim. Once they're out, they will pick 2 locks, single pin pick. And they can pick a yellow and an orange belt. Once they have picked those 2 locks, they'll say, I'm in, and then it's turn for the specialist. The specialist will need some poker chips or coins, or they could also use playing cards. And the specialist does a dexterity trick, just does some tricks with poker chips. It can just be as simple as shuffling through the stack like that, or if they want to roll a coin over their knuckles. I can't do that, but if you can, or whatever other tricks, or if they want to use playing cards, maybe they're into cardistry, they can use this and do some fans and flourishes, but they need to perform a trick for 10 seconds. So they'll do some sort of dexterity act for 10 seconds, and then they will pick an orange and a green belt lock, single pin pick. And when they're done, they say, I'm in. And when the specialist says, I'm in, I stop the timer. I start it the minute the dealer picks up the deck, and I finish it when the specialist says, I'm in. So essentially, the heist is a little story. The dealer's in on the heist. They're signaling through the deal. The decoy, meanwhile, has security distracted, has been taken prisoner by security, not prisoner, but detained by security. They're going to escape from the cuffs, and then they're going to take the opportunity to go cut the video feed. The specialist is delaying, waiting for the right moment, and then they're hitting the safe and getting the goods. So it's kind of a little story element, and it's casino themed right now. Next year, if this goes over well, maybe there'll be a lock heist next year. Maybe it won't be casino theme. Maybe it'll be a bank theme, or maybe it won't even be a heist. Maybe it'll be a rescue. Maybe it'll be a escape room, or dealing with an emergency on a space station or something like that. Anyway, that's the basic concept. What do you win? Well, the team that goes the fastest gets bragging rights. That's pretty much it. This isn't like an intensive competition. It's not intended to be. It's just to be for fun. But everyone who participates will get a Lock Heist 2026 poker chip. You see it's got the cuffs, the cards, and the chips on the front. On the back, it's hosted by Grouchy Lenny, because who knows, maybe Lock Heist 2027, if there is one, maybe someone else will want to host it. Maybe they'll have some other idea to go with. So anyway, I just kind of like to see this become a fun event, bring community members together, people work in groups. I'd never really interacted much with Cheese Grits or Swamp Picker before we did the Pack Leader Challenge together. But we just had a great time and become friends, and it's just great talking to those guys now. And I like to see, more of the community. We do a lot of interaction, but I think it's kind of fun to work as a team. I think I'd like to see a little more interaction like that in the community. Anyway, the team leaders, I'll send 3 chips to the team leaders. They'll disseminate them to the team. I'll send some of my stickers too. But there's no physical prizes for Lock Heist. This is just a for fun competition. What we'll do is we will schedule lives for these Lock Heist events. We'll schedule lives. I'll work with the team leader. We can do weeknights. I'm Central Standard Time, Chicago time, for anyone international. So we'll look at doing weeknights, evenings, or Saturday or Sunday. I can go from morning till later in the evening with some scheduling. So if you're outside of the U.S., you're certainly encouraged to enter. Again, I'm just going to be sending the chips to the heist crew leader, so they'll have to disseminate those. So keep that in mind when you're putting your teams together. Just be sure the heist leader is going to be willing to cover the shipping for the chips and stickers, which shouldn't be too bad. The only thing with scheduling is we are not going to schedule on the same weekends that ULC events are running. So we're going to run these on other weeks or weekends. And it just seems like the ULC Discord could be a great place to do these little community events. I know the Shackleman spotlights are happening, and it just seems like a good place to do these, video streams that are going to bring community members together. And it seems like it would be the ULC Discord would be a great hub. So if you're not a member, even if you don't intend to compete in the ULC championships, go join the Discord. You can get in there, you can cheer people on. There'll be other events running, and it's just a great scene. So, anyway, I've got enough the poker chips for 8 crews to do this. If the turnout's really good, I'll get more chips printed up, because the more the merrier. We'll run it, I was thinking probably just run this over the next maybe 2-3 months, but if response is good, we can certainly run longer through the year for Lock Heist 2026. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. Hope a lot of you are going to be interested in participating and have a good time with this. And I will talk to you later. Oh, hey, are you in?